When it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL, there's no one quite like Brock Purdy. He went from being Mr. Irrelevant to arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Still, many doubted him, labeling him a system quarterback before the game against the Rams. But with three of his star offensive players missing, Purdy put on one of his finest performances, throwing for nearly 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and achieving an impressive completion rate of over 73%. In this video, we'll break down how Purdy nearly played a perfect game without his usual starters and why it still wasn't enough to hide some glaring issues in San Francisco's offense. While Purdy may not have the strongest arm or be the most athletic quarterback, he's certainly one of the smartest. Take this play, for instance. San Francisco ran a flood concept with Ronnie Bell streaking downfield, Yawan Jennings running a quick out to the flat, and Eric Swoop on a deep out route. The Rams were in cover 4, which put their cornerback in a tough spot. He had to choose between jumping on Jennings' short route or getting deep enough to cover Swoop. When the corner decided to jump on Jennings, Purdy immediately threw to Swoop before he even finished his break. Purdy's ability to read defenses is top tier, and you'll rarely see him get stuck on his first option. On one play, for example, he initially looked at Jennings but saw a linebacker drop deep enough to make an interception possible. So Purdy quickly moved to his next read, finding a wide-open Brandon Ayuk despite getting hit hard on the play. Aside from reading the defense, Purdy also showcased his skill in manipulating safeties with his eyes. On a play-action pass, Purdy knew he had 2 receivers running streaks. If he could get the safety to bite on Ayuk, he'd have Yawan Jennings wide open for a touchdown. The Rams' defense fell for the fake, and when the safety broke toward Ayuk, Purdy turned back to Jennings, who was left wide open. Purdy's third touchdown of the game further displayed his ability to exploit weaknesses in the Rams' defense. Pre-snap, he recognized the extra defender coming in and saw that he had man coverage across the board with just one high safety for help. Purdy then went to his go-to playmaker, Yawan Jennings, who was running a double move. But what made this play so impressive was the timing. Purdy threw the ball as soon as Jennings started his break. If he had waited any longer, the safety could have jumped in and possibly intercepted the pass. Purdy's quick action prevented that. In another example, on a deep out to Ayuk, Purdy once again displayed perfect timing and anticipation. With pressure in his face, he identified Ayuk and spun out of the pocket to protect himself from the oncoming hit, delivering a well-timed throw. One narrative surrounding Purdy is that he's only good because his receivers consistently get open. However, this season, the 49 ERs have had the second lowest target separation in the entire NFL. This means Purdy has to be incredibly accurate with his throws. On plays like the one where he fit the ball between 2 defenders, his precision makes all the difference. But here's the thing, Brock Purdy has played like this all season. What really stands out, in my opinion, is the touch he puts on his throws. For example, in situations where some quarterbacks would try to fire a dart and risk an interception, Purdy shows great patience and precision. He puts just the right amount of air under the ball, allowing it to drop perfectly between the linebacker and safety. Purdy has always been known for his accuracy, but what's truly improved since he entered the NFL is his arm strength. Take the deep ball to Ronnie Bell, for instance. San Francisco lined up on the opposite hash, yet Purdy effortlessly delivered a beautifully placed pass downfield. What also stood out in this game was how Purdy used his athleticism to bail out the offensive line. On one play, San Francisco's rookie lineman, Dominic Purdy, almost gave up instant pressure on Purdy. The only reason it wasn't a sack was because Purdy managed to break the tackle and spin out of the pocket. On what ended up being a short 3-yard run, Purdy actually ran a total of 76.6 yards. So while Purdy proved he can perform without elite-level talent around him, the 49 ERs still couldn't outscore the Rams. There were several reasons for this, but a major one was Kyle Shanahan's questionable personnel decisions. With key players out, Shanahan chose to rely on Ronnie Bell over veterans like Chris Conley or even Jacob Cohen. While Bell can be electric with the ball in his hands, he's inconsistent as a receiver. Yet, with the game on the line, Shanahan put his trust in Bell. It's puzzling when you have a player like Brandon Ayuk who's being paid $30 million a year. While the return of George Kittle and Deebo Samuel may help, Shanahan's ongoing lack of investment in the offensive line continues to hurt this team. The entire line has struggled this season, but one standout weakness is Cole McKivitz. He's one of the worst tackles in the league, giving up the second most pressures with 13. On one play, he nearly got Purdy seriously injured. It resulted in a fumble, and Purdy is lucky he didn't tear his UCL again, as it was the same motion that caused his injury last time. There was another moment where Purdy had to quickly check down to a shorter pass because McKivitz gave up pressure so fast that he couldn't let the play develop and look for a deeper target. In the end, Purdy showed in this game that he is not just a good quarterback, he's an elite one. The bigger story moving forward isn't whether Purdy is just a game manager or carried by his offense, but rather how Kyle Shanahan continues to struggle with managing his team's talent. Not only did he give Ronnie Bell 30 reps and Jacob Cohen none in this game, but he also didn't address the offensive line in the offseason, knowing full well that McKivitz wasn't enough. Those are just some of my thoughts on Purdy's performance against the Rams, but I'd love to hear yours. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day.